Tutorial. In this video, we'll be looking at the factorization method of solving quadratic equation. So like we've explained before, there are four methods of solving quadratic equation, and the four methods are factorization method, completing the square method, formula method, and the graphical method. These are the four methods of solving quadratic equation. So in this video, we are looking at the factorization method. So before we go further, what is factorization? Factorization is the resolution of a number into factors such that when they are multiplied, the original number can be obtained. It is the resolution of a number, so this is a key word in this definition. It is the resolution of a number into factors. You resolve the number into factors such that when they are multiplied, when you multiply the numbers, the original number can be obtained. For example, if we have 9 and I ask you to factorize 9, you have to resolve 9 into factors such that when you multiply the factors, the original number can be obtained. So if I ask you to look for the factors of 9, you are simply going to look for the numbers that can divide 9 without a remainder. So 1 can divide 9 without a remainder. 9 divided by 1 is 9. 3 can divide 9 without a remainder. 9 divided by 3 will give you 3. And also 9 can divide 9 without a remainder. 9 divided by 9 is 1. So therefore, if I ask you to factorize 9, you simply tell me that 9 can be 9 times 1. This is factorization. You are factorizing 9 now. Or 9 can be equal to 3 times 3. If you multiply this number, you get the original number. If you multiply 9 times 1, you get 9. 3 times 3, you get 9. So this is what factorization is all about. It is the resolution of a number into factors such that when they are multiplied, the original number can be obtained. So having known all this, here we are looking at an example. And the example is solve the equation x squared minus 5x plus 6. So in solving this equation using the factorization method, there are 5 steps that must be followed. And the 5 steps are: 1. You must equate the equation to 0. That's the first thing you must do. Equate the equation to 0. Then after that, you must look for the factors of 6 such that when you multiply them, plus 6 can be obtained, which is this plus 6 that is here. And when you add them, minus 5x can be obtained. Minus 5x can be obtained. So you have to look for the factors of 6. The factors of 6. Those numbers that can divide 6 without a remainder, such that when you multiply them, plus 6 can be obtained. And when they are added, minus 5 can be obtained. So that's the second step that must be followed. Then the third step is to replace minus 5x with the factors. To replace minus 5x with the factors of 6 that you have obtained. Then the fourth step is to group the expression into 2. And after grouping, the fifth step, which is the last step, is to factorize and equate the equation to 0. Factorize them and equate to 0. So here is the question. And the question is to solve the equation x squared minus 5x plus 6. So the very first thing I said is that you must equate the equation to 0. That's the first step. Equate the equation to 0. So by equating the equation to 0, what I'm going to have is x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. With this, I'm done with the first step. I've equated the equation to 0. Then the next step is to look for the factors of 6 such that when you multiply them, plus 6 can be obtained, and when you add them, minus 5x can be obtained. So here you have to look for the factors of 6. So this is the first step that has been done. The next step is to look for the factors of 6 such that when you multiply them, you have plus 6, and when you add them, you have minus 5. So what are the factors of 6? Like I've said before, the factors of 6, they are those numbers that can divide 6 without a remainder. So, and the factors are 1, 2, 3, and 6. 6 divided by 1 will give you 6. 6 divided by 2 will give you 3, 6 divided by 3 will give you 2, and 6 divided by 6 will give you 1. So these are the 4 factors of 6. They are the numbers that can divide 6 without a remainder. So which of them are we going to multiply to give us plus 6? Obviously 2 times 3 will be equal to 6, and 1 times 6 will give you 6. So these are the factors of 6. When you multiply them, 6 will be obtained. Multiply them, 6 will be obtained. But another thing that you must consider is when you add them, we are to get minus 5 when they are added. So how are we going to manipulate these numbers? So 2 plus 3 will be equal to 5, not minus 5. So this is wrong. 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. So this cannot work. So these two factors, 2 and 3, 1 and 6, cannot work. So let's try the negative part of them. So minus 2 times minus 3 will give you 6. Minus 2 plus minus 3 will be equal to 5. Plus times minus will give you minus. So that will be minus 2 minus 3, which is minus 5. So the factor that can work very well for this equation, or the factor that works very well for this equation, is minus 2 and minus 3. Minus 2 times minus 3 will give you 6. Minus 2 minus 3 will give you minus 5. So the factor that works well for this equation is minus 2 and minus 3. So the factors are of 6 that you will multiply to give you plus 6 and add to give you minus 5 are minus 3 and minus 2. So now we have gotten the factors. So the next step is to replace minus 5x with the factors. To replace minus 5x with the factors. So here I have minus 3x and here I have minus 2. So if I decide to put in x here, I will have minus 3x minus 2x. Minus 3x minus 2x will be equal to minus 5x. So since this expression and this expression are the same, what I will do is to replace this minus 5x, which is here, with minus 3x minus 2x. So my equation will now be equal to s squared. Instead of me to write minus 5x, I will write the factors there. Minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 equal to 0. Minus 3x minus 2x will give me minus 5x. So this expression and this expression are the same. So having done this, the next step is to group the expression into two. To group the expression into two groups. So by grouping the expression into two groups, I will take the first two expressions, then take the last two expressions. So this will be s squared minus 3x. I will group this by putting a bracket, minus 2x plus 6. I will also group this by closing it with a bracket equal to 0. With this, I have grouped the expression. Then the next thing is to factorize and equate the equation to 0. So first of all, we are going to factorize. So by factorizing, I will look for the numbers that are common within these brackets and also look for the numbers that are common within this bracket. So looking at this first bracket, I have s squared minus 3x. So what is common between these two numbers, s squared and minus 3x? Obviously what is common is x. So I will bring that s out, open bracket. What will remain will be x minus 3. So x times x will give you s squared. X times minus 3 will give you minus 3x. So this expression and this expression, they are the same. With this, I have factorized this expression. Then also, I will also factorize this. So if you look at these two numbers, what is common? The common expression between these two numbers is 2. So I will bring that 2 out. This will be 2 bracket. What will remain here is x, and what will remain here is 3. So minus 3. The reason I put this minus here is because what you have in this expression within this bracket must be equivalent to what you have within this bracket, so equal to 0. So like I said, x times x will give you x squared, x times minus 3 will give you minus 3x, then 2 times x will give you 2x. So for the fact that we have minus 2x here, I'm going to put minus sign here. So minus 2 times x will give you minus 2x, minus 2 times minus 6 will give me plus 6. So with this, I've factorized this expression. So the next step is to equate it to 0, to equate them to 0. So since what I have within this bracket and what I have within this bracket are the same, what I will do is I will take one of them. So that will be x minus 2 equal to 0, or x minus 3 equal to 0. That's this x minus 2 is this x minus this 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 3, which is the one in this bracket, minus 3 equal to 0. So if x minus 2 is equal to 0, if I take this minus 2 to the other side of the equation, becomes plus. So this will be x is equal to 0 plus 2, or x is equal to 0 plus 3. So 0 plus 2 will give you 2, so that gives us x is equal to 2, or x is equal to 0 plus 3 will give you 3. So this is our answer. X is equal to 2 or 3.